Monday, April 6, 1970. In the foothills of Los Angeles, two heavily armed professional bank robbers come face to face with four California highway patrolmen following their violent crime spree in Southern California. And as the gunmen exited their vehicle, they opened fire, killing all four officers before fleeing on foot in a matter of minutes, leading to one of the largest manhunts in law enforcement history. From 1960 through the early 70s, California faced a significant increase in violent crime, particularly in armed robberies, resulting in violent confrontations with police. From the 1964 Bank of America robbery in Santa Monica to the infamous 1969 Safeway supermarket robbery, which may not sound infamous because it's a Safeway, but it was an Oakland Safeway. With these violent robberies and clashes with law enforcement on the rise, and despite being traditionally responsible for highway safety and traffic enforcement, the California Highway Patrol were at the forefront of the battle, as the ever-expanding freeway systems in California quickly became a hub of escape routes, meaning that the CHP often became the first line of defense in stopping armed robbers on the run. And the CHP quickly became renowned for their ability to create effective roadblocks and engage in high-speed pursuits, using their most effective weapon yet, Dodge Polaris, which at the time were considered one of the fastest and most powerful vehicles to ever be used in a law enforcement capacity, capable of reaching speeds of 130 miles per hour with a 7.2-liter 440 Magnum, making 375 ponies and 480 pound-feet of torque, which again was fast at that time. But as 1970 approached, violent crime in California only continued to rise, leading to the formation of multiple task forces, combining with multiple law enforcement agencies, linking the CHP to the FBI and other local law enforcement agencies. And as criminals became more heavily armed, the CHP began issuing more capable firearms to its officers and incorporating shotguns and tactical shotgun drills, preparing officers for high-pressure situations involving automatic weapons. But this effort would soon be underscored significantly as the CHP would find themselves face-to-face with two of the state's most violent criminals, Bobby Davis and Jack Twining. By way of Texas, Bobby Davis started a life of crime at an early age and began engaging in armed robbery and theft as his primary means of income across multiple states throughout his adulthood. And later, Davis would meet Jack Twining, a proficient firearms and explosives enthusiast with a shared disdain for law enforcement. But unlike Davis, Twining's criminal record was extensive, including multiple armed robberies, assaults, and prison sentences, which led Twining to become all the more determined to never be taken alive by the police ever again. And Davis leveled up his game under Twining's leadership as the two embarked on a spree of robberies across Southern California. They began with smaller businesses, from gas stations to grocery stores and liquor stores, but nonetheless, these robberies involved Twining jamming the barrel of a sawed-off shotgun into the victims' foreheads as Davis waved his revolver and worked crowd control. And although petty scores, their robberies were quick and violent, often leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. But most importantly, they were successful, and soon, Davis and Twining became a permanent crew, referring to one another as Smokey and Buzz as they moved from town to town, waiting out the heat and planning their next heist, setting their sights on a full-scale takeover of a reputable bank, a Los Angeles branch of Bank of America. And by August of 1969, Davis and Twining burst through the doors, subduing every single bank employee and demanded the money. The pair made out clean and with a score of $8,000, of which Davis and Twining invested a large portion of into explosives, ammunition, and more firearms, commencing a spree of armored truck robberies throughout the Southern California region. And as CHP staged throughout various highways and freeways, Twining and Davis never showed up and made out clean once again. Now confident and in the prime of their takedowns, Davis and Twining selected yet another bank, a Western Federal Savings and Loans Bank in the heart of Los Angeles. But before they catch 5 stars, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Aura. Recently, hackers may have stolen the social security numbers of every American, after over 2.9 billion records were stolen from national public data. And these hackers have reportedly released this information online for free. And national public data can't undo the damage done, but Aura can help protect what matters most. Because Aura alerts me if they find my phone number, email, or social security number on the dark web, immediately notifying me if someone tries to use my information. And Aura works around the clock to protect and keep your data and personal information away from data leaks and data brokers. And by automatically opting out of data broker lists, Aura has significantly reduced the number of robocalls that I receive, giving me a peace of mind and helping secure my information. But that's not all they do. Aura provides comprehensive protection that includes antivirus software, a VPN for secure browsing, secure password management, identity theft insurance, and even credit monitoring, all in one single app. You don't need to manage multiple subscriptions to multiple apps on your phone. Aura consolidates everything you need into one convenient platform, saving you time, money, and storage. If you'd like to stick it to robocallers and protect your information, I highly recommend checking out Aura. They're even offering you guys a 2-week free trial. Simply go to aura.com/PopoMedic or click the link in the description and protect you and your family's information today. In February of 1970, Davis and Twining hit the Western Federal Savings and Loans Bank in Los Angeles. This robbery followed the same MO as Bank of America, and the two got away with an undisclosed amount of money. But their increasing audacity and the amount of firepower associated with their robberies put them at the top of the radar of the FBI and the CHP. However, it wouldn't be an investigation that would bring the law down on Davis and Twining. As fate would have it, on April 5th of that same year, Twining and Davis were planning to steal explosives for an armored car robbery. Davis dropped Twining off to steal the explosives and continued on northbound on the 5 freeway. In a stolen 1964 Pontiac GTO, Davis made an illegal U-turn, merging into the southbound lanes of the 5, and nearly collided with another vehicle, leading to a heated argument with the other driver. And during the altercation, Davis brandished a firearm, causing bystanders to flee and called the police. He then returned to pick up Twining and continued northbound on the 5 freeway. Then, a call came in over the radio of CHP officers Walt Frago and Roger Gore's patrol car of what dispatchers reported to be a road rage incident regarding a stolen vehicle based on the plate given by the reporting party. Frago and Gore soon caught up to Davis's GTO and noticed a male passenger with him. As they pursued the vehicle, 2 additional CHP officers, James Pence and George Alleyn, positioned themselves nearby as backup. Frago and Gore followed the suspects into a parking lot and effected a traffic stop off Henry Mayo Drive near Newhall, California. Frago approached Twining on the passenger side with a shotgun, while Gore approached Davis on the driver's side, ordering Davis to exit the vehicle. Davis complied, walking to the front of the car with Officer Gore, who began searching. Then, Twining exited the passenger side, lifting a .357 Magnum and opened fire, striking Officer Frago twice in the chest, killing him instantly. Officer Gore returned fire at Twining, but lost track of Davis. In the exchange, Davis seized the opportunity to draw a Smith & Wesson Model 49 revolver and shot Officer Gore twice at close range, killing him. Officers Pence and Alleyn arrived on scene nearly simultaneously and immediately came under heavy fire from both Davis and Twining. After exhausting their ammunition, the suspects retrieved additional weapons from their car. Davis armed himself with a pump-action sawed-off shotgun, and Twining transitioned to a 1911, but it jammed after his first shot. But he retrieved another 1911 and resumed firing. Officer Alleyn responded by firing his Remington 870 shotgun toward the suspect's vehicle, but in his haste, he ejected a live round and only managed to inflict a superficial wound on Twining. After emptying the shotgun, Alleyn drew his service revolver and continued firing. Davis returned fire with a shotgun, fatally wounding Alleyn, who failed to land any successful shots. Meanwhile, Pence engaged Twining with his Colt Python, but his shots also missed. And during this chaotic exchange, a bystander named Gary Ness, a former Marine, attempted to help. Ness initially tried to pull the wounded Alleyn to safety, but couldn't move him. And on the other side of the patrol car, Twining had shot Pence in the chest and both legs. Wounded and out of ammunition, Pence struggled to reload his Colt Python, using the rounds from his dump pouch. Davis discarded his empty shotgun and grabbed Frago's unfired shotgun, but he couldn't figure out how to operate it, and let out a negligent discharge into a nearby building. He then abandoned the shotgun and took Frago's service revolver. Ness, having given up on moving Alleyn, retrieved Alleyn's shotgun, unaware that it was empty. When he attempted to fire it, Davis opened fire on him, prompting Ness to switch to Alleyn's service pistol. Ness hit the suspect's car with one fragment, striking Davis, though not enough to incapacitate him. As Pence loaded his final round into his Python, Twining flanked him and shot him from behind at point-blank range, killing him. Out of ammunition, Ness took cover in a nearby ditch, and moments later, a car full of CHP officers and Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies arrived and exchanged gunfire with the two suspects, who eventually fled under the cover of darkness and decided to split up. Law enforcement agencies quickly set up roadblocks and shut down the surrounding region, as one of the largest manhunts in California history was about to ensue. Helicopters sweep the area with spotlights as officers comb through the neighborhoods, open fields, and wooded areas. Twinning broke into a nearby home in Valencia and took a family hostage inside. As law enforcement closed in, Twinning barricaded himself and the hostages inside the house. Law enforcement negotiators were brought in and attempted to talk Twinning into surrender, during which Twinning became increasingly agitated.
What do you plan to do? Give me a few more minutes to live before I die, that's all. Why do you think you have to go that way? I've been in before, I won't go back again. I figured putting me to a possession, I can do it for me. Of course, if you're held in California, you know, there hasn't been an execution in California for a long time. Nobody killed 4 highway patrols in a long time either.
Eventually, after releasing the hostages, Twinning realized his situation was hopeless and took his own life with Frago's pistol. Meanwhile, Davis managed to evade capture for a short period by confronting an RV owner. Davis stole the RV. However, CHP officers caught up to the stolen RV and pursued Davis until he surrendered without further resistance. The Newhall incident led to an immediate review of the tactics and training provided to law enforcement officers, as the incident exposed vulnerabilities in how officers approached high-risk situations. The CHP and other agencies began to reassess their training programs to better prepare officers for such encounters, and thus birthed the protocols of a high-risk traffic stop, aka the felony takedown. Additionally, officers nationwide overhauled their tactics and departed ways with static drills and focused on shooting and moving, as Officer Allen's ejection of a live round goes to show how inadequately officers were trained. Additionally, these reforms created rigorous firearms training programs, emphasizing the importance of backup and communication during traffic stops, and introduced new safety measures, such as the use of body armor. Bobby Davis was convicted of first-degree murder for the killing of the 4 officers and sentenced to life in prison, where he died in 2009. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more mini docs in the works, and you don't want to miss them. And if you can, and if you want, feel free to support the channel on Patreon. YouTube's been a little moody lately, so it's a great way to support the channel. Be sure to check me out over on Instagram and X as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.